Hey everybody, Ben Frederickson here alongside Jeff Gordon talking Blues hockey. Gordo, here's the deal. The Blues can talk about wanting to watch this team the rest of the way, and they're going to take note of who's giving up, who's playing hard, which one of the young guys are performing, who's kind of creating more of an opportunity for the future. But let's be honest, if you're expecting this team to go out and win after it's had its heart and soul traded away, probably not going to happen. Meanwhile, Doug Armstrong, he's not worried as much about this team on the ice. He's worried about what he could be doing next, whether it's another trade, Barbashev right there, a guy who's got to probably be dealt soon. But what about the guys he could bring in? We're hearing reports of maybe the Blues are in on Timo Meier of San Jose. What would you make of an addition like that, and what would that tell us about kind of the scope Army has for this plan to rebuild or retooling, whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, he's made it real clear that he wants to take some of this draft capital. I'm sure he's going to use some of it, but he wants to get young veterans that he could bring in, plop into the nucleus with Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou, and try to build out from there. And bring in Timo Meier is a great example. He's going to be a restricted free agent with one more year until he's an unrestricted free agent. That qualifying offers $10 million. The Blues can't afford to pay that. Would they be willing to pay him $9 million a year on a contract? Well, if so, breaking Doug Armstrong's previous records, then maybe that's a deal they can make. They're in position to do that now because of the trades they made, sending off Tarasenko, O'Reilly, Achari, Nico Mikkola. So they can play that game. They can play that game with Jacob Chychrun too. He's got 2 years left on his contract, defenseman for Arizona. But again, you're going to want to know what's it going to take to lock this guy in. So it's so complicated. He's got to make trades to get more capital. He's got to look to add veterans. He's got to see where those veterans fit into his payroll going forward. A lot happening in Doug Armstrong's life right now, and meanwhile the Blues, well, they just have to do the best they can.
Yeah, the attention is unfortunately not going to be on the ice, but Armstrong's going to have to clear up some more salary cap space if he's going to make big additions to this core. Because here's the deal, trading away those expiring contracts, they don't help you with your future cap. They were coming off the books anyway. When is the best time to unload players who you need to you're ready to move on from? This defensive core is log jammed, and clearly some guys are going to have to go, even if it's somewhat of a salary dump trade. That's not the time to do it at the trade deadline because teams are looking to add rentals who can help them, not necessarily guys who aren't playing great. When does Armstrong maybe offload some of these contracts as he tries to find the right mix to make this rebuild not something that's 5 years, 6 years down the line, but hopefully 1 or 2, or at the most 2.5?
Yeah, those trades are more likely to happen before the draft because, like you say, these teams want rental players. They want the team that they're getting the player from to retain salary. They're just trying to get to the end of the game, like with an O'Reilly, or get to the end of the season with O'Reilly or Tarasenko, then worry about next year. The types of deals that Doug's looking at, you're probably going to have to do that in the summer because a team like a Winnipeg, if they want a Colton Parayko, they got to see how that works. If a team wants a Torrey Krug, he wants to have a reunion, let's say, in Vegas with his old coach, Cassidy. I mean, things are possible, but the player's got a consideration. They have no trade leverage. They're not going to give it up easily. There's a lot to work out to make a deal like that when you're moving that kind of cap space in a player that's got leverage to stop a move. So I think something could happen, but boy, like you say, try to get it done between now and the deadline, not easy.
In a perfect world, the puzzle pieces would be on the ice. We'd be talking about how they come together for a push. That's not where this Blues season is. Do not underestimate the importance of the puzzle Doug Armstrong is working on when it comes to this roster, because he has turned the page and he is full speed ahead to try to minimize the amount of time it will take to get this Blues team back at a high level of competition. We're going to see some more moves from Army, folks. Stay tuned at stltoday.com. We'll have it all covered. For Jeff, I'm Ben. We'll talk to you next time.